What is up, everybody? Welcome to Kayak Bass News, the last week of March 2023. Got a lot to cover, so we're going to get right into it. As always, we like to lead off the news with the bag of the week. This week, there's not much question about it. Bag of the week is going to come straight out of Texas. There it is. Ricky Julik. I can't pronounce his last name. Ricky J. 113 inches, anchored by this giant right here, a 26-inch monster. Ricky is going to need a bigger board. He'll probably be able to get it with his winnings from this tournament. Congratulations, Ricky. Bag of the week, the last week of March. Next up, let's talk about some regional news. The All-American Kayak Series kicked off earlier this month on Lake of the Pines down in Texas. And for a while, I thought this event was going to have a contender for Bag of the Week. On day 2 of the All-American Series down there in Texas, Tyler Cole threw up 104 inches with a come from behind victory. Tyler was, let's see where he was. He was in 10th place on day 1 with that giant bag on day 2, came all the way back to take the win by 6 inches on Lake of the Pines. So well done, Tyler. Staying down in Texas, another 100-inch bag. Jordan Westerman came from Iowa down to Texas and did some work with the North Texas Kayak Championships, one of the most respected trails in the nation, much less the state of Texas. But did some work down there, Jordan, with a 22.5-inch bass to anchor his limit. We'll throw that up on the screen real quick. Biggin right there. That's a big old horse head. Looked like it maybe spawned out. I don't know. But that's a big fish. Well done, Jordan, coming from Iowa, taking some of that Texas lunch money. Bumping up to Missouri, right by me, Chad Davison, who my teammate from Old Town, Chad Davison, was one of 5 people to throw a limit up at the Taney-20 on Lake Taneycomo. Lake Taneycomo in Missouri is well known for trout fishing, but not so much for bass fishing, but it's kind of underrated for bass fishing. It's not a giant lake, but those bass eat on those shad and those trout in there. They get big. We had 4 limits over 90 inches. Chad Davison throwing up 96 inches to take the win. Well done. That's a championship that takes place the year after their season. So it took place just here. Let's see, what was the date on that? March 25th. Well done, Chad. Well done, Moyak. Right down across the border in Arkansas, the second event of the year for the Northwest Arkansas Kayak Anglers, or the Natural State Kayak Anglers Club in Northwest Arkansas. Josh Landreth took the win. Tiebreaker. 2 guys with 80 3/4 inches. He took the tiebreaker with the big bass. Well done, Josh. Oklahoma got started. Tough day for the club over in Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Kayak Anglers. 2 Vu took the win with 86 inches, but look at that. They had 95 anglers show up for their event and only 64 fish caught out of 95 anglers. Only a couple of limits, 3 limits. Wow. Tough day over there in Oklahoma. Even though there are a few big fish caught, just overall very, very tough. Head out west, California, Lake Pardee. This was the California Bass Nation Kayak Trail on Lake Pardee. It was also in conjunction with the Wild West Bass Trail. James Croco took the win with 90 3/4 inches, along with some of the familiar names out west, filling out that top 10. Damian Tao, who we're going to talk about here in a minute, sliding in there in 6th place. Let's get on to some national news. All right, we can't talk national news without sliding back to earlier in March and talking about the big event down on Caddo Lake. If you guys saw our full interview with Rolando Nandine over on Kayak Bass Nation, very interesting way that he caught them, non-traditional ways. Everybody and their brother was skipping Senkos and creature baits and plastics around the cypress trees, and Rolando took the win with a big day 2, come from behind victory, big day 2, using a jerk bait around cypress trees, not really using live scope other than to position and verify there were some fish coming out of those trees. But he go watch that full episode. I'll try to link it in the description here about how he used his jerk bait, almost long lining around the trees and then jerking it down right there in front of the cypress tree, the base of the cypress trees in a specific depth of water. So Rolando, well done, taking the win on Caddo. Early season and winning in Texas that's Rolando. He's doing that. So there you go. And then last but not least on the national scene, we just came off Classic Week. The Bassmaster Classic went down. And in conjunction with that, we had the Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship on Lake Chickamauga, just south of there earlier in the week. Tough conditions met the anglers there. A lot of people will say this guy's the GOAT of kayak fishing, the greatest of all time. Russ Snyder's took the win with a steady couple of days of fishing. He was third place after day one, had the sixth place limit on day two, but total limit 180 inches, won by 4 inches going away from Damian Tao from out west, who we just talked about. We interviewed both those guys on the Kayak Bass Nation podcast Monday night. They go in depth on what they found, how they targeted fish, two different approaches. But big event for the sport because it was a big turnout, 132 anglers. And then the expo right after the tournament, we went down there. They had the award ceremony on stage. It was huge. It was great seeing the anglers up there doing their thing. This time around, the arena had a lot more people in it. The process was a lot smoother. I noticed at the expo there was a lot more kayak fishing stuff, rigs, accessories, whatever involved around the expo. More brands, big brands like Strike King, Lose, etc., had kayak fishing anglers present as part of the team helping work the expo, etc. So good stuff there. There you have it, guys. That's your news for the week. Stay tuned. We'll have another episode out here in a couple of weeks as more tournaments take place. I know the Hobie Bass Open Series is heading to Santee Cooper this week. We've got Hartwell coming up for the Bassmaster Kayak Series. Big things happening. It's full on tournament season. If you guys want your club included on the list of results I go over, please reach out to me, kayakbassnation@gmail.com, and I will get those on the list to be checking for. Talk to you next time, everybody.